Welcome back to Life Science Note, friends. Welcome to another video. And in this video, we are going to study about the measurement of bacterial endotoxin through LAL test. This test is also known as BET, which stands for Bacterial Endotoxin Testing. So let us see what this LAL test means and what actually the test is about. So the LAL test is considered to be the more sensitive test than the other pyrogen test. So what are other pyrogen test? Which is also known as the rabbit test. Okay. So I have made a detailed video on the rabbit test or the sham test. You can see it. I will link it in the description box below. So what the LAL stands for? So the LAL stands for Limulus amoebocyte lysate, which is an in vivo assay where live cells are used to detect the presence of and the concentration of the endotoxin in a particular drug or any biological product for that matter. This test is used to quantify the endotoxins that are secreted by the gram-negative bacteria only, and using the amoebocyte lysate that is extracted from the horseshoe crab known as Limulus polyphemus. So what is the principle of this test? So the principle of the test is based on the clotting of the lysate when it comes in the presence of the endotoxin that are secreted only by the gram-negative bacteria. And these endotoxins are the toxic complexes which are associated with the cell wall of gram-negative bacteria. These are rarely fatal but can cause fever if they are consumed by any sense. And hence, endotoxin carrying substances may be any drug or anything that is able to carry the endotoxin is known as pyrogen. So there was a point where I have said that the bacterial endotoxin are constituent of the cell wall of the gram-negative bacteria. So gram-negative bacteria, we know that they are found everywhere, and the famous example of this is E. coli. And the cell wall of this bacteria contain the outer membrane of the cell wall, the periplasmic membrane of the cell wall, and the cytoplasmic membrane of the cell wall. In the outer membrane of the cell wall of the gram-negative bacteria, it has an lipopolysaccharide layer. Okay, so these lipopolysaccharide are nothing but the endotoxins which are responsible for the toxic reaction in the body. And these are released when the cell get lysed. The complex lipopolysaccharide whose lipid A component can cause the toxic reaction when these bacteria are lysed by the immune cell. If suppose the bacteria gets inside the body, so our body starts the immune response against that bacteria. Okay, so if they are lysed by those immune cells, the bacteria secretes the endotoxins from their cell wall, and the lipopolysaccharide lipid A component cause the toxic reaction which can cause increase in fever, respiratory respiratory rate increases, as well as lowering of the blood pressure. So why this harmful thing is present in the outer membrane of bacteria? So it is present because it protects the bacteria from many antibiotics, detergent that can normally damage the peptidoglycan layer, which is present in large amount in the gram positive bacteria but in less amount in gram negative bacteria. And the lysozyme that can disintegrate the cell, as well as many antimicrobial enzymes that are produced by the animals. So the LAL's first letter says that it is the crab Limulus. Okay, then what is amoebocyte lysate? So this reagent, lysate reagent, is obtained from the blood of the Limulus crab, the horseshoe crab. So what the lysate stands for? It is defined as the mixture of substance which is formed by the lysis of the cell. So the blood from the pericardium region of the horseshoe crab is taken, it is purified and then centrifuge, and the mixture of the substance is known as lysate. Okay, and this amoebocyte lysate is associated with the WBC of this horseshoe crab. And then these lysate are freeze dried, they are lyophilized to increase their lifetime. And what is the procedure of this LAL test? So the sample are taken at the equal volume and they are incubated with the lysate at 37 degrees Celsius for 1 hour. If the endotoxins are present, so what was the principle of LAL in the introduction? That it coagulates. So if the endotoxin are present, the solid gel is formed, and that indicate the presence of the endotoxins. So if the solid gel is formed, there is the positive result, means the presence of endotoxin in the sample is positive. And if there is no gel formation, that indicates the test is. So let us see what is the reaction which is taking place with the endotoxin and the lysate. So this is the cascade reaction which start by the presence of the endotoxin, lipopolysaccharide layer of the gram-negative bacteria. So this endotoxins activate the factor C. Okay, and this activation of factor C leads to the activation of factor B. So the factor C is a serine protease precursor, and the subsequential activation of factor B also activates the proclotting enzyme into the clotting enzyme. So what it does, that first it activates the factor C, which is a serine protease precursor, and then it activates factor B, and then the factor B activates the proclotting factor into the clotting enzyme. The activation of the clotting enzyme, the coagulagen is hydrolyzed and converted into coagulin, which is a gel forming substance which increases the turbidity of the solution by forming the gel. So there are 6 separate methodologies for the testing of the endotoxin. The first is gel clot limit test, the second is gel clot semi-quantitative test, the third is turbidimetric kinetic method, the fourth is chromogenic kinetic method, the sixth is chromogenic endpoint method, and the fifth is chromogenic endpoint method, turbidimetric endpoint method. So let us see what the gel clot method is. So it is a qualitative test. What does the qualitative test means? Means that it only show whether the endotoxin are present in the particular sample or not. It doesn't give us a range that how much of endotoxin is present, but it only determines the presence of the endotoxin in the sample. In the gel clot method, the test is conducted by adding the LAL reagent to the equal volume of the test solution, and then that is agitated and stored at 37 degrees Celsius for 1 hour. After the completion of the incubation time, the tubes are inverted to 180 degree, and if the solid remain intact at the bottom of the tube after inverting, the presence of the there is the positive result, which means that the endotoxin are present in the sample. But if the tubes are inverted and the sample leaks out, the test result in the negative result, which means that there is no presence of the endotoxin. The gel clot reagent sensitivity is generally between 0.015 to 0.5 endotoxin unit per ml. And this method detection limit is normally 0.01 to 0.03 endotoxin per 1 milliliter of solution used in the test. So now what is gel clot semi-quantitative test? The name itself indicates that the test is semi-quantitative. Means what? That this method gives the result in the form of less or greater than the specific value that is given. Okay, for example, if the product A is having the bacterial endotoxin limit not more than 0.20, then the result would be in two ways, that the result would be greater than that value or less than that value. Okay, so if the result we get are less than the value given, so the test is pass, means the presence of the endotoxin is there. Okay, and if the value is more than 0.20 EU per mg, then the test fails for the presence of the endotoxin. Only this is the difference between the two tests. Now let us see what is turbidimetric kinetic method. So this method is a photometric assay which measures the increase in the turbidity caused by the reaction of the endotoxin in the presence of the lysate. The general procedure involves the measure of the wavelength passed through the solution using the photometric method. The sample is taken, the LAL reagent is added into the sample, the clotting of LAL reagent produces the gel clot, as we all know. So this result in the turbidity. Obviously, if there is any solid formation, any clot formation, that will result in the turbidity of the solution. If there is increase in endotoxin concentration, there will actually be increase in the turbidity, because the coagulation will increase, right? So this is measured through the taking optical density of the solution using the spectrophotometer, and this reading are taken constantly as the turbidity develops. This method depends on the relationship between the response and the concentration of the endotoxins. Now we will see a turbidimetric endpoint assay. So this is also a photometric assay. It involves taking the turbidity reading at a determined point. The problem with this assay is that it can manipulate the results if the reading are not taken at the particular determined time. Now let us see the chromogenic kinetic method. It is also a photometric assay, but it measures the color developed by the chromophore released by the chromogenic substrate by the reaction with the endotoxin lysate. Okay, the resulting color of the reaction is measured using the photometric method, which reveals the concentration of the endotoxin that are present in the sample. So you remember the cascade reaction we have seen in my previous slide. Let me show it again. In this chromogenic endpoint method, when the endotoxin is present in the molecule in the sample, first the lysate reagent is mixed with the chromogenic reagent, which is peptide p-nitroaniline, and this peptide is linked with the p-nitroaniline, which is the substrate here. When the lysate, in the presence of the endotoxin, the lysate break the bond between the p-nitroaniline and the peptide, which result in the release of yellow color. And this color developed by this chromophore is checked using spectrophotometer. Now let us see the chromogenic endpoint assay. So it is also a photometric assay which measures the color developed by the chromophore released by the chromogenic substrate by the reaction with the endotoxin lysate. So in the endpoint assay, the assay measures the color intensity at the end of the incubation time after the reaction is stopped. And in the kinetic method, the constant reading is taken as the color develops. And in the endpoint assay, after the incubation period is over, after the reaction is stopped, the color intensity is measured and the endotoxin presence is determined. I hope you all liked my lecture. Please share my videos, like my video, and subscribe to my channel for the future videos. Thank you.